Ever since its introduction in 1982, Chevy's S10 has been very popular for its versatility, reliability, and its 80s good looks. Customizers have been using the S10 as a platform for lowriders, with custom paint jobs and modifications to personalize trucks for their owners. In 1999, Revell released their lowrider custom version of the S10, allowing you to build 3 variants of the truck: stock, cameo, or lowrider. Many new pieces have been introduced to the kit, so you can mix and match parts to create your own custom S10 with your own preferences. In 2025, Revell has re-released the S10 Lowrider kit with all the original custom parts and a new decal sheet. Same kit as the one released in 1999, but with an additional 1/64 scale version of the Lowrider S10 as well. To add even more custom flair to this kit, it would be fun to add a French license plate to the rear tailgate. Measuring out a good size for the plate, a Dremel can be used to open the space, and then a hobby knife to further clean up the edges. Using some masking tape as a guide, a file can be used to square up all the edges and corners. Using a sheet of styrene, a piece can be cut slightly larger than our opening and then glued into place behind the opening in the tailgate. Further customization can be done by shaving the door handles. The handle can be trimmed from the side of the door and then smoothed out using a file or some sandpaper. Tamiya putty can then be used to fill in the divot left over. Once dry, the putty can be sanded smooth, and then some 1000 grit sandpaper can be used to even up the surfaces. Funny story, after I had completely finished this build and doing some final photographs with the box, I noticed that the side skirts for the cab were actually put on backwards. It seems the small indent in the skirt is supposed to be close to the wheel, not toward the box. Once I realized this, a lot of the odd fitment made a lot more sense. So, when building yours, make sure you are putting the skirts on the correct side. The truck bed of this kit consists of many pieces. They all fit together nicely provided you have cleaned up all the parts beforehand. The rear tailgate can be assembled to be functional, but in this instance, it made more sense to glue it in place as well as the tonneau cover, making the bed a solid piece before painting. Once you have completed the bed, you can attach it to the cab for a single body for painting. Give everything a good sanding to even it all up, and give the paint a decent surface to adhere to. Finally, the front grille and bumper can be attached, and we are ready for paint. We will use the Kaleido paints again to try out some differences from our previous build. If you want to see my first attempt at using the Kaleido paints, you can watch my Fiero build. I'll put a link in the top corner. We can start off using the gray primer on the body. 2 solid coats are done to ensure good coverage. Don't forget to paint the underside, as well as much of that will be seen even after assembly. If everything looks good, then we can proceed to the color stage of painting. We will use the Kaleido Primary Purple for our base coat. Unfortunately, the footage for the first laydown of the paint is missing. I hit the wrong button on the camera. 3 purple coats are used to ensure everything is well covered and uniform. After a little inspection, some imperfections in the purple can be seen. A 3000 grit sanding sponge can be used to knock down any high spots and even out the paint. Just be sure not a lot of pressure is used, otherwise the paint can be worn down to the primer coat. The 1999 kit comes with some body graphic decals. They are still in decent shape here, so they can be used on the sides of the truck. After a day of drying, gloss can be applied using the Kaleido gloss varnish. In this case, 4 layers are done to ensure good coverage and a decent coating is applied. After 72 hours of dry time, the clear can be sanded and polished as usual. If you are interested in a more comprehensive look at the painting process, you can check out my Ultimate How to Paint a Model Car guide. The entire process is documented from start to finish in this in-depth look at the whole process. Link is in the top corner or in the description below. Focusing now on some other parts of the kit, many items can be assembled before painting. The fuel tank can be put together as well as the engine block. The rear suspension can be put together and attached to the frame as well as the single-piece front suspension. Black primer is used on many of the parts before painting colors. Several of the Kaleido primary colors can be used. Yellow for shocks. Orange for the oil filter. Gunmetal for the headers. And aluminum for the engine transmission. Black is then used on the engine block as well as a few other parts for the drivetrain. For the interior of the truck, Seats are glued together, and seam lines are cleaned up using sandpaper or a file. The steering wheel can get a little chrome for the spokes. Seats are done in a flat purple to help simulate cloth. The dashboard and side panels are given a coat of semi-gloss purple. After some masking, a flat white is applied to the seats and door panels as an accent color. After everything is painted, we are now ready for the assembly stage. The engine can be put together with valve covers, distributor, headers, belt system with fan, and the air cleaner on the top. Chassis gets some shocks. The fuel tank, and then the wheels can be attached in place. After flipping the chassis over, the engine can be put in place, and the radiator with the upper radiator hose can be installed. For the interior, the steering wheel and column can be attached to the dashboard. The center console and door panels can be put into the interior tub. Seats are then put into place. And lastly, the dashboard can be inserted. The front bumper used in this build has turn signals and fog lamps that can be put into place. Then the headlight lenses can be put on top of the headlight buckets. The windows do have some trim on them that needs a bit of semi-gloss black to simulate rubber. The windows on this kit are installed from the outside of the body. The firewall is well detailed and does have the brake booster on it. This does need to be put into place before the interior tub. Otherwise, it is very hard to get it to go in. Wipers fit snug against the windshield. Inserting the interior tub can be a little heart-stopping. The sides of the cab will need to be spread, and if you haven't glued the side skirts on tight, then you could snap them off. Luckily, these ones are on there, good and tight, and the tub went in all snug like a bug in a rug. After giving the bottom of the interior tub a coat of black paint, it is time for the chassis to be installed. Another tight fit in the cab area, and the engine just fits between those fender wells in the front. With a little manipulation, it can all come together nicely. The hood can now be put in on its hinges. It's a tight fit there. Mirrors can be attached to each side. And finally, a custom license plate can be put into that beautifully Frenched-in spot. Thank you so much for watching this build video of the Chevy S-10 Lowrider. I hope you enjoyed it. Many of the tools I used for this build are in the description below. Links are to these items on Amazon. As an Amazon associate, I do earn a commission on purchases. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment below. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more builds in the Scale Auto Garage, and hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. Keep building, and we will see you next time.